Hello everyone, this is my lecture number 5 on the subject control system and instrumentation. In last 4 lectures I discussed about what is control system and the difference between open loop closed loop system. Okay, then we discussed about what is transfer function, how to find out transfer function of a system, and how to find out stability from that transfer function. Then how to represent a control system, a complicated control system using block diagram, and then how to reduce that block diagram to find out overall transfer function for single input single output system, multiple input single output system, and multiple input multiple output systems. Okay, and so today's topic is signal flow graph. Okay, now in this topic, this is I mean, instead of using block diagram, we can represent a control system using signal flow graph. Okay, now we already studied that block diagram approach is commonly used for simple type of systems. Okay, and it quickly gets complicated when there are multiple loops and subsystems, like in case of multiple input multiple output cases. Okay, thus we need a more systematic approach for such systems. Now alternative method to block diagram representation was developed by Samuel Jefferson Mason. Okay, what is the advantage of that signal flow graph technique? The availability of signal flow graph gain formula. That means we don't have to reduce that signal flow graph. What we did for block diagram reduction technique, we have to apply to find the transfer function of a complicated system. But in case of signal flow graph, we have a signal flow graph gain formula that we can apply directly to find out the overall transfer function of any complicated system, which is known as Mason's gain formula. Okay, now a signal flow graph basically consists of a network in which nodes are connected by directed branches. Okay, so we will have two nodes. Okay, and this is connected by a branch, and the direction you can show. So if this is your A and B and the gain is S, then we can write B equal to A into S. B is your output, A is your input, and S is the gain. Okay, this is similar to the block. A block gain is S and input is A and output is B. Okay, these two are analogous to each other. Okay, so in signal flow graph, going into discussion about signal flow graph, we have to know some point, that is input node. Okay, input node is the node with only outgoing branch. That means input node means it will have only outgoing branch. Okay, that is called input node. Output node means node with incoming branches. Okay, that means a node which has only incoming branches. Okay, that is called output node. What we can do is any non input node can be made an output node by adding a branch with gain 1. That I will show you with example. Now we have to consider about the point path. Path is collection of branches linked together in same direction. So we are going from, say, input to output side. Okay, that will be the forward path. Okay, that is the path from input to output side. If we have some loop here, okay, so that will be a feedback loop. Okay, so path is basically defined as forward path, and we have another term that is called loop. Okay, forward path means path from input node to output node. Okay, where node is visited more than once. That is called forward path. Gain of forward path is product of all gains of branches in the forward path, and loop is nothing but path that originates and terminates at the same node. So if we have say two node, okay, and it originates from this node, it is going up to this node and then coming back at the same node, okay, then it is called a loop, okay. So it originates and terminates at the same node. No other node is visited more than once, okay. This node visited only one time, okay. That is the logic for this loop. Loop gain is product of all branch gain. If we have gain here s and here gain is say a, then the loop gain will be a into s. So that branch value is the gain that we have to multiply. Now non-touching loops means two pair of signal flow graph. In a signal flow graph, if two parts are non-touching, two loops are non-touching with each other, then it is called non-touching loop. That I will show you with example, okay. Now here the line joining two nodes is called a branch, okay. This is node x, node y, there is a line and that is called a branch, okay, and this a is the gain of the particular branch, okay. Now in signal flow graph we can introduce some dummy nodes, okay. Say here we have r input. So if say this is your point, we can insert another node here as dummy node and we can connect a 1. So here what is the value? Say this is your r, okay. If we place r here, so here the value will be r into 1 r, so there is no effect. Similarly, if this is your node that ends here, so we can connect another dummy node, that will be your output node, only incoming branch with gain 1, that we can include. Now input node that has only outgoing branches, output node only incoming branches. So this is the input node example. All these branches are outgoing, and here in this node, this node has only incoming branch, okay. So this is your output node. Now in this node we have incoming and outgoing branch. In this node also we have incoming and outgoing branch, okay. Those are not input and output node. So we can identify input node and output node. Now let us find out what is path, okay. Now path is any path from input node to output node, input to output, that is called forward path, okay. That means how we are traveling from input to output node with that direction that we have to take care. So we can go along this path, okay, up to output. This is one forward path, and we can have another one. This is your direction. So we can have another forward path. We are coming here and there we are going through this way. So in this example we have two forward path, okay. This is one, this is second forward path. Going from input to output we can have many forward paths, okay. Now what is loop, okay. Loop means that start from one node, ends at same node. So starting from here and then it is coming back to his node. So this is the example of loop, okay. Similarly, starting from this node and coming at this node. Another one starting from here, then it is going here, then this node coming back to this node, okay. This is another loop. We can have another loop starting from this node, going to this node and coming back here. So we can have 3 and 4 loops in this particular signal flow graph, okay. So another loop is there, that is called self loop. That means it starts from same node, terminates at same node, but without traveling to any other node, okay. A feedback loop that contains only one node is called self loop. So this is the example of a self loop, okay. And in this case what we can say, this is your one forward path, okay, this is your second forward path, okay, and this from here to here coming back to this is your loop. So we have two forward path, one loop and one self loop. Okay. So from any signal flow graph, we have to identify how many forward paths are there, how many loops are there, how many self loops are there, that we have to find out. That is the first thing. And what is the loop gain? Loop gain is nothing but product of all the gains forming a loop. Say this is your loop, okay, then gain is A32 into A23. So loop gain is this, okay, that's all. And another loop is here, this is the self loop, the gain is A33. Okay, so that is the way we have to find out the loop gain and forward path gain. So path, already I told you what is path. Path means from input to output, how we are traveling from input to output. So it has two forward path in this signal flow graph, and path gain is product of all the gain. So this gain into this is the path gain of forward path 1, and this gain and this gain, if you multiply, that will be the gain of this second forward path. Okay, that is the way you have to find out. Now feedback path or loop. So these are the example of feedback loop. This is one example, two loop, and we can have another feedback path that is this way and it is coming back this way. This can be another loop. Okay, so we have here so many loops are there. Okay, 5 loops, this is 6. Okay, and this is from here to here. Okay, then coming back through this way, another loop. So we have to identify all the combination of forward path and loops and their gain, forward path gain and loop gain. Now let us discuss about the point that is called touching loop. That means whether two loops are touching with each other or not. That means what? In this case, what we can see, we have two forward path. This is one forward path from input to output, and this is your another forward path, right? So we have two forward path. This is your first, this is your second forward path. How many loops are there? So this is your loop 1, this is your loop 2, now this is your loop 3, this is your loop 4, right? This is going from output to input side. Feedback means whenever you see feedback, that is the loop. So what we can see, loop 1 and loop 2, these are touching with each other because it has a common node. Okay, so these two loops are touching with each other. Now if we look, loop 3 and loop 4, those are also touching with each other because it has a common node. Okay, now if you compare loop 1 with loop 3, what we can see, that these two loops do not have any common node. This L1 has these two nodes, okay, L3, loop 3 has these two nodes. They are not touching with each other. So L1 and L3 are non-touching loop. Similarly, L2 and L4 non-touching loop. Similarly, L1, L4 also non-touching. L2 and L3 is also non-touching loop. Okay, so we have 4 non-touching loop pair, L1, L3, L1, L3, okay, then L1, L4, then L2, L3, then L2, L4. So these are the 4 pair of L1, L3, L1, L4, L2, L3, L2, L4. 4 pair of non-touching loops are there in this particular signal flow graph. What is the use of that? That I will tell you later when I will discuss about Mason's gain formula. Okay. Now we can find out non-touching loop also in this particular example. What we can see here, that this loop, okay, and if you consider this one as a loop, okay, then this loop and this loop are non-touching with each other, right? Because this loop is have these two nodes, but this bigger loop has these 3 nodes, and those are not common. That means that those two loops are non-touching. Okay, so looking into the signal flow graph, we have to find out how many forward paths are there, first point, then how many loops are there, right, Then we have to find out non-touching loop pair. How many non-touching loop pairs are there? Okay, if two loops are non-touching with each other, then it is called two non-touching loop pair. Okay, if we have three loops, those are non-touching, then that is called three non-touching loops. Okay, for example, here L1, L3, L4, if you consider L3, L4 are touching, so we cannot say L1, L3, L4 are these three loops are non-touching. Okay, we cannot say that. Okay, so let us find out how we can say three non-touching loops. Okay, so non-touching loops for forward path, this is another point. Okay, non-touching loops for forward path, that means what? If we have a forward path, this is your forward path. Okay, now with that forward path, which loop is non-touching? Now for this forward path 1, all the loops, okay, all the loops, you can see this is one loop, this is one loop, this is one loop, this is one loop, all the feedback path basically provides the loop. Okay, so all are touching with this forward path, so there is no problem. Now if we consider up to this, and if you go like this way, okay, this is the second forward path because of this arrow. Okay, what we can see, for this forward path, this loop, okay, is non-touching to this forward path because the nodes are not common. Okay, this is another point that you have to find out. Okay, so this is the part. Now there is one point, that is chain node. It is the node that has incoming as well as outgoing branch. So this is your input node, output node, and these are the basically chain node. Okay, that's all. Now for example, here what we have, that this is your forward path. What is the gain of that? A, B, C, D. Okay, so forward path 1 gain is A, B, C, D. We can have another forward path coming here and go through this way. What is the gain of that? A, F, D. Forward path gain is A, F, D. Loop, we have only one loop. What is the gain of that? C into E minus C E. That is the loop gain. Okay, this is how we have to find out. Now the algebra means how we can find out if three branches are parallel to each other, then the gain should be multiplied, I mean addition. Why? Because x2 equal to what we can write? A into x1 plus b into x1 plus c into x1. So gain will be a plus b plus c. Okay, if it is connected in series form, so it will be multiplied. That is okay, multiplication of gain. If connected in parallel, then we have to add that. Same logic that we did for signal flow graph. Now say for this example, these arrows are given. So forward path is, this one is one forward path, and we have another forward path, this one. We have two forward path. How many loops are there? In this particular example, we have, this is one loop, okay, this is another loop, okay, and this is another loop. Fine. So we have three loop. So we can find out loop gain. What is the loop gain? For this is loop 1, that is G1 into H3 with a negative sign, minus G1 H3. Loop 2, if you consider this one as loop 2, gain is G2 into H1 with positive sign because we don't have negative sign here. And loop 3 is 1 into G2 into G3 into minus H2, minus G2 into G3 into H2. Okay, that is the individual loop gain. Okay, now we can find out non-touching loop. Now we can see this loop 1 and this loop 2 are non-touching because they do not have any common node, and this loop 3, okay, this is your loop 2 and this is your loop 3, okay, that also non-touching with L1. So L1 and L2 non-touching loop, and L1 and L3 also non-touching loops. Then we can find out their gain. That means we have to take the product of that. Okay, so L1 multiply with L2 product gain, L1 multiply with L3. That is the gain of two non-touching loops. Okay, so we can multiply the gain, that will be the gain of two pairs of non-touching loops. Okay, now how we can convert block diagram to signal flow graph. What we are doing here, this is your input signal, this is output signal, this is the transfer function of that block. Okay, G is equal to CS by RS. Fine. Now here what we are doing, if you want to convert that into signal flow graph, that transfer function represent the gain of the branch, and those signal becomes the node. Okay, signals becomes the node and transfer function becomes the gain. That is the way we have to find out. So gain becomes, transfer function becomes the branch or gain, and the signals becomes the node. That's all. This is the way you have to find out. Now we can take one example. This is a block diagram and we can convert that into signal flow graph. So what we can have, RS one node, X1S another node, ES another node, US another node, YS another node, and here we have X2S another node. Right. Now we can connect. How you can connect that? Between RS and HS, X1S, okay, we have H1S. So we can take this value H1S as a branch. Okay. Then between X and E, we have a summer. Summer means its value you have to consider as 1. Okay. Then what you have to do, that I will tell you. Now between ES and US we have DS. Between E and US we have DS. Between U and Y we have GS. U and Y we have gain GS. Now Y to X2 we have H2S. Okay. And from X2 to this point ES we have that summer. So that is -1 because we have a minus sign here. Now what we can do, this 1 and -1, that we can neglect. How we can neglect that? This 1 we can drop. So this X1 and E1 ES both can be a same node. Okay, and here this one we can take as connected directly to ES. Okay, -1 we can take this value here -H2. Okay, so this is the final signal flow graph of this particular block diagram. Okay, so we can convert that very easily. That means what? Here summer basically ignored. So X1 ES, that will be a single node. Okay, and here X2 and ES becomes a single node, right? X2 ES becomes single because it is connected to summer. Okay, and the sign here, that will come here as a gain, multiply with that -H2. This is the way. Now we can take another example of that. So here what we have, this is the block diagram. So we can have RS, X1, X2, then X3, X4, X5. Okay, and from here we can have H6, X7. Okay, those are the signal. So signal means those converted to node. Okay, now we can connect. So how we can connect? Between this R and X1, what we have is summer. So we have to connect 1. Okay, so only one gain. Between this X1, X2, we have another summer. Okay, so again 1. X1, X2, X3, we have G1S. So between X2, X3, G1. X3, X4, G2. X4, X5, G3. Okay, and this is your YS. Here between we have a summer. So from this X5 to YS, we have this value 1 because of this summer. Okay, and here from this X3 we have another going to this summer or to YS. Okay, So this is G4 that is going to YS. We have to take care of this direction arrow, and here from this X3 then it will be X6 H1, then it is connected to this summer, okay, X2. Similarly from this X1 2 3 4 to X7 we have H2, then -1. Now what we can do, we can drop this 1 value, okay, this 1 we can try to drop it, okay, we can try to drop it. So what we can have here, what we can see that this feedback connected to this point, this feedback connected to this point, okay. So these 2 points must be there, okay. So what we have here, Rx x1 x2, Rs x1 x2, this part we are not changing. So here Rs x1 x2 is there because x1 and x2 at x2 point this feedback comes and this feedback comes at x1. So we cannot take these two as a same point. We can take as same point, okay, but let us keep it like that way. There is no problem, no harm, okay. Now what we can do, this 1 we can connect directly, -1 this will connect it directly with the minus H2. So this is H1 H2 directly connected, and here this one we can drop and we can take this one as YS, okay. This one we can drop and this we can connect at this particular point. So YS equal to X3S, okay. So that will be the signal flow graph of that particular system, okay. Now what we have studied up to now, that how to convert block diagram to signal flow graph, and what are the point from a signal flow graph we can find out: forward path, okay, and their gain, forward path gain, then loops, okay, and loops gain. Then we can find out non-touching loop, their gain, and non-touching loop with forward path, okay, with forward path, that we have seen, okay, which loops are non-touching with forward path. So these are the criteria that we have to find out from the signal flow graph. Now let us discuss about the Mason's gain formula, okay. Now block diagram reduction technique requires successive application of fundamental relationship in order to arrive at the system transfer function. That means we have to solve step by step, reducing the block diagram to a single block, okay, by applying block reduction technique, okay. Now on the other hand, Mason's rule for reducing a signal flow graph, we only have to apply one single formula, okay, which is basically derived by S.J. Mason. That's why its name is Mason's gain formula. So the transfer function of any system, if we know the signal flow graph, Cs by Rs transfer function, okay, that can be written as summation of, okay, I goes from 1 into n pi delta I by delta, okay. This is the Mason's gain formula. Now let me discuss about what is the meaning of P, delta I and delta, okay. Now here n, this n is number of forward path. So how many number of forward paths are there, depend on that this formula we have to expand. That means suppose we have n equal to 2, that means we have 2 forward path, then this formula we can write as P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2, okay, divided by delta, because I goes from 1 to 2, okay. If n equal to 3, then another term comes into picture, okay. So like that way you have to go, and here Pi is nothing but the ith forward path gain, So from the signal flow graph, you have to find out how many forward paths are there. and we have to find out their gain. So P1, P2, P3 are the first forward path gain, second forward path, third forward path gain. Okay. Now delta is called determinant of the system. Okay. Now determinant means what? How you can find out determinant? The formula for determinant is 1 minus sum of all individual loop gains. Okay. That means you have to write 1 minus, say you have 3 loops. Okay. So you have to write L1 plus L2 plus L3. 1 minus sum of all individual loop gain. The plus minus sign you have to take care. If L1 is a negative sign, so you have to put negative, that becomes plus here. Okay. Then plus sum of product of gains of all possible 2 loops that do not touch with each other. That means plus we have to find out 2 loops non-touching, 2 non-touching loop gain we have to find out. Say L1 and L2 are non-touching, L1 and L3 are non-touching. Then what we can write? L1 into L2 plus L1 into L3. Okay. This is 2 non-touching loop, 2 non-touching loop. We have to multiply their gain. Okay. So 1 minus individual loop gain plus sum of product of 2 non-touching loop gain. Okay. Then we can write minus. Okay. Then we can write minus sum of products of the gains of all possible 3 loops that do not touch with each other. That is 3 non-touching loops. Okay. Suppose let us take L1, L2, L3 are non-touching loop. Okay. Say I have included one loop L4. Okay. Say L1, L3, L4 are non-touching, then that will be L2, L3, L4. Okay. So this is 3 non-touching loop. If you have any other, so you have to add plus 4 non-touching loop minus 5 non-touching loop, that way you have to proceed. So 1 minus all loop gain plus 2 non-touching loop gain minus 3 non-touching loop gain plus 4 non-touching loop gain, that way you have to go. That is the value of delta. Okay. Now delta is called signal flow graph determinant, or this is the characteristic function. So if we put delta equal to 0, that will be the system characteristic equation. Characteristic equation means for a transfer function can be written as numerator polynomial by denominator polynomial. This is their denominator. So if we put ds equal to 0, that is your characteristic equation. So if you find out delta value, if we put that equal to 0, that is your characteristic equation. From that we can find out what are the location of poles, and we can find out the whether the system is stable or not for linear system. Okay. So this is the logic of this Mason's gain formula. Now we have to find out what is delta 1, delta 2, delta 3. Okay. Delta I. Delta I is called determinant of the ith forward path. That means what? Delta I is the value of delta for the part of the block diagram or signal flow graph that does not touch the ith forward path. Okay. Part of the let me write here, change that, part of the signal flow graph that does not touch with ith forward path, that is called delta I value. Okay. That means we have a forward path and we have another forward path. Here we have one loop. Okay. So this forward path is not touching with this particular loop. So delta I, that will be what? 1 minus this loop gain minus L1. Okay. So delta I equal to 1 if there are no non-touching loop to ith path. Okay. That means for this delta 1, for this forward path 1, delta 1 equal to 1. For this forward path 2, delta 2 is 1 minus L1, because this L1 loop is not touching with this forward path 2. Okay. This is how you have to find out this delta I parameter. Now let us take one simple example. Okay. to start with a simple negative feedback circuit. Okay, negative feedback block diagram. So block diagram or negative feedback. So R is this nothing but your signal. Okay, we have this node, that is your summer. Okay, from that we have GS, G, then we have C. Okay, and we can have a dummy node, fine, and from this point we have this H with negative sign, minus H. Now if you have to find out signal flow graph, what we have, the forward path is 1 whose gain is G. There is only one loop, gain is G minus H, G minus GH. Okay, so delta value, so what is the formula? P1 delta 1 by delta. Okay, now P1 is nothing but G. Okay, delta 1 we have to find out. Delta 1 equal to what? This we have only one forward path and this loop is touching with that forward path. So delta 1, that should be equal to 1. That is the logic. Delta I equal to 1 if there are no non-touching loop to ith forward path. Okay, so it will be 1, G into 1 divided by delta equal to what? 1 minus this loop gain, whose gain is minus GH, so it becomes minus into minus plus GH. So formula is G divided by 1 plus GH, that is for the negative feedback. So this is the formula that we have derived from block diagram previously. Okay, now we have derived from the signal flow graph applying Mason's gain formula. Okay, so we don't have to find out what is ES, calculation of those not required. We can find it directly by putting those value in this particular Mason's gain formula. So this is the beauty of this signal flow graph technique. Okay, now say this is one example. Okay, now first thing, from the signal flow graph we have to find out how many forward paths are there. So we have, this is one forward path. Okay, P1, gain is G1 G4 into G2. So this is your P1, G1 G2 G4, and we can see we have another forward path this way. Okay, this is your second forward path. From this node we can go like this way, or from this node we can like this way. So if you, for forward path 2, P2, what is the gain? G1 G3 into G4. Okay, so that transfer function formula, P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 by delta, right? That is the formula, Mason's gains formula, because we have n equal to 2, right? Now we have to find out delta. What is the delta? Delta means what are the loops. Loop means we have, this is one loop starting from this node and ending at same node. This is loop 1. Okay, what is the gain? G1 G2 into H1, G1 G4 into H1. Okay, then we have another loop, that is, say, starting from this node we are going up to this and we can come back here. Okay, that is your loop 2. Say, now loop 2, what is the gain? G1 G4 G2, okay, into minus H2, that is your loop 2. Now we can see that we can have another loop, a bigger loop, starting from this node, going through this direction, okay, coming back to this point. Okay, so this is the way we can find out another loop, right? Okay, let me discard this, all this line, so that we can see it appropriately. So what is the another loop that we are getting? Third loop, starting from this one, going through this way, coming back to this point. So this is a bigger loop. So G1 G4 G3 minus G1 G4 GT minus H2. So these are the three loops. Okay, now we have to find out non-touching loop. Now we can see this loop 1 is touching with this loop 2, right, and touching with loop 3. All the loops are touching with each other. Okay, so there is no non-touching loop, no non-touching loop. So delta equal to what? 1 minus sum of all individual loop gain. So all the loop gain you have to put it here. Okay, so here it will be minus, another two part is minus, here L1 is plus sign, these two are minus sign. Okay, so we can write the total formula. Okay, so this is 1 minus these two become plus. Okay, so 1 minus these two become plus, and delta 1 delta 2, what is the value? So this is your loop 1, okay, this is your loop 2, this is your loop 3. Okay, now this is your forward path 1. So this forward path touching with all the loop, and this is your second forward path. So you can see that also touching with all the loops. So what we can see, delta 1 delta 2 are 1, both value 1. So P1 into 1 plus P2 into 1 divided by delta. So that will be your, we can take common factor G1 G4 and we can find out the overall transfer function. Okay, so instead of, if we represent this signal flow graph using block diagram, then we have to apply block diagram reduction technique and we have to find out transfer function. But from signal flow graph we can find out transfer function directly using the Mason's gain formula. Okay, now let us take a third example. Here what we have, a block diagram. If you want to find out transfer function of that system CS by RS, what we have to do, we have to shift this to this point, then these two comes in series, then feedback, then that comes series with that, then another feedback, that comes series with that, then another feedback. So you have to solve like this way. Now that we can draw the signal flow graph. Okay, and we can directly use the formula. So RS is a node, ES is another node, here this one X is another node, this is your X2, X3, this is your CS. Okay, so between R and E we have direct connection, so 1, E and X 1, we have G1, X and X1 X2 we have G2, X3 X2 X3 we have G3, X3 C we have that is G4. Okay, after that we have this CS with a 1. We can take this point here also without any harm. So now from X3, this point we have connected these two, okay, between X2. Okay, and from here this is connected to between G1 and G2. Okay, and from here this is connected to at R and E. At E we can connect directly, so here it is connected. Okay, so this is the signal flow graph. Now we can find out what is the transfer function. So here what is, how many forward paths are there? We can observe here we have only one forward path, right? Because this is your feedback path, this is your feedback, this is your feedback, so only one forward path. So the formula will be P into delta, or say P1 delta 1 divided by delta. Okay, P1 gain is G1, G2, G3, G4. Okay, so that is P1 gain is G1, G2, G3, G4. Delta 1, all the loop, these three loops are there. This is one loop, second loop, and this is your third loop. All these loops are touching with the forward path, so delta 1 equal to 1. So we know P1 into 1. Now 1 minus, okay, delta equal to what? Delta equal to 1 minus all the loop gain. Now here loop 1, if you consider this one, G3 G4 minus H1, so we have minus L1 value, then minus H2, then we have minus L2, okay, then minus H3, so it will minus L3, right? So it becomes 1 plus all the gain. So 1 plus all the gain, individual loop gain, and here we don't have any non-touching loop, two non-touching loop, because this node is common for these two loop, okay, and this node is common for these two loop. Okay, so we have no non-touching loop, so that part is not there. Okay, so this is the transfer function. So if we know signal flow graph, we can find out directly and very easily the transfer function. If we know block diagram, then we have to solve it step by step. First we have to shift this takeoff point, then these two series, that comes in feedback loop, that comes in series with that, then another feedback loop, that comes series with G1, then another feedback loop. So we have to take more time to solve it. Okay, now you can solve this one using block diagram reduction technique, and we can see the value will be the same, we can find out. Okay, now let us solve another problem. Okay, here we have to find out how many forward path are there. Then you can see this is one forward path. Okay, and this is your arrow is going here, so these two are feedback, this is going here, so this is your another forward path. So we have two forward path. Forward path 1, what is the gain? G, say forward path 1 is say this one. Okay, say this is your forward path 1, this is 2. So gain is G1 into 1 1. So that is G1. P2 is this one straight line. So this is only G2. Okay. Now how many loops are there? Okay, let us look into that. So loop, how many loops are there? If you want to find out, so what we have to do here? Okay. So what we can do? We can start from this node. We can go like this way. Okay, and we can come back here. Okay, so G1 minus G3, that is your loop 1. Okay, then similarly we can start from here through this way. Okay, through this part we can reach here, G1 into G4, there is no negative sign, loop 2. Then what we can have, loop 3, that is G2 up to this and then through this, so G2 minus G3, that is your loop 3. Another loop we can have starting from this point and we can come through this way, G2 into G4. So we have total 4 loops. We are getting total 4 loops. Okay, so those are the 4 loops gain that we find out. Now we can find out the value of, now we can, what are the non-touching loop? Now we can see this point is common for all the loop, right? So there is no non-touching loop pair. Okay, so what we can write, delta equal to 1 minus, okay, L1, minus minus become plus, so here plus minus minus, then minus minus become plus, plus minus, that is minus, so that is your delta value. Okay, and delta 1, delta 2, what will be the value for this particular forward path? All loops are touching with each other. Okay, with all loops are touching with this forward path, and all loops are touching with this forward path also, because these two nodes are common. Okay, so delta 1 delta 2 is 1 1, so we can write G1 into 1 plus G2 into 1 divided by this delta value. Okay, this is the example. Now let us check, let us solve another problem. Okay, now in this particular problem what we can see, that we have only one forward path. Okay, because this is your feedback feedback feedback. Okay, so we have only one forward path, so the formula we can apply, P1 delta 1, okay, divided by delta, that's all. So P1 is nothing but G1 G2 G3. Okay, how many loops are there, we have to find out. So we can have, this is one loop, right, G1 G2 into H1, one loop. Then we can have G2 G3 into minus H2, another loop. Okay, then we have a bigger loop, that is G1 G2 G3 into minus 1. Okay, so minus G1 G2 G3. So we have 3 loops. Okay, so delta equal to what, 1 G1 G2 H1. Okay, it doesn't have any minus sign here, so it should be plus. Okay, that's why here it is minus, here it is plus. So it should be minus G2 G3 H2. Here it is minus sign, so minus, so it will be plus here, and it is minus, so it is plus. Okay, and what we can see, there is no non-touching loop pair. Why? Because this loop, okay, as common node, this and this node are there. Okay, for this L1 and L2 loop, okay, this node is a common node, right? This is going this way and this is going this way, so this node is common. For L1 and L3, the bigger loop, this node is a common node. For L2 and L3, what we can see, these three nodes are common. Okay, so we don't have any non-touching loop pair, and delta 1 is nothing but equal to 1, because all the loops are touching with the forward path. So this is another problem. Now let us check another problem. Here it will be interesting one, because in that case what we can see, we have one forward path. What is the gain? G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Okay, P1. Then we can have another forward path up to G1. Then we can jump here and we can go like this way. That is your second forward path. So it will be what? G1, then G6, G4, G5, second forward path. And we can have another forward path. If you look here, you can go up to this point, then we can jump through this way and we can reach third. So G1, G2 into G7. So here we have total 3 forward path. Okay, now we can look for loops. How many loops are there? Okay, now for loop, if you consider, this can be one loop. Okay, loop 1, G4 minus H1. Okay, then we can go for this G2, then G7, then we can come back through this bigger loop. That can be your loop 2. So G2, G7 minus 2, H2, L2. Then we can have, starting from this node, G6, G4, G5, then through this way reach here. That is your L3. G6, G4, G5 minus H2, L3. Okay, and L4, that can be a bigger loop here, another loop here. Okay, G2, G3, G4, G5 and minus H2. That is your L4. Okay, now we got these 4 loops. Okay, now what we can do, what we have, the formula P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2, okay, plus P3 delta 3, okay, divided by delta. Now delta means 1 minus individual loop gain, that we can write L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 loop gain, then mine plus non-touching pair. Now let us find out if there are any non-touching pair loops or not. Okay, so if we look here and if you find that this particular loop, okay, that is your loop 1, okay, and your loop 2 that we have considered, G2, this loop G2, G7, okay, and then coming back to this, okay, this loop 2 are non-touching with each other. Loop 3 means you are going through this way, then coming back to this way, so it is touching here. Loop 4 is this bigger one, okay, it is also touching. So what we can see, this loop 2 and loop 1 are non-touching with each other, okay, that we can observe. So that gain we have to multiply. Okay, so here we have to write gain of L1 plus L2. So delta equal to what? All are having minus sign, so here it will be 1 plus all loop gain, and here we have the extra term, that is because of L1 into L2, two non-touching loop pair. Okay, so we have two non-touching loop, that gain you have to multiply, so that factor comes here. Okay, that will be your delta. So we have here 4 loops, and this is your L1 into L2 non-touching loop, two non-touching loop. Okay, now what we can find out? We have to find out delta. Okay, now we can find out the value of delta. Now if we consider this for this loop 1, okay, loop forward path 1, this is the forward path 1. Okay, now you can see all the loops are basically touching with this forward path, so delta 1 equal to 1. Okay, now delta 2 means this is the loop G1, okay, G6, okay, and this way, this is your forward path 2. Now you can see this is the common node, okay, and this is touching with this all node. Okay, so forward path 2 also touching with all the loops, okay, individual loops, so delta 2 is also 1. Now if we look for delta 3, okay, that means this is the forward path up to x2, then G7, and get the third. Now if this is your forward path, okay, then what you can see, this particular loop is not touching with this forward path. We are basically bypassing this loop, right, up to x2, then jump and comes here. This loop is not touching with that forward path. So what we can write, delta 3 equal to, delta 3 should be equal to 1 minus that loop, that is L1 loop. Okay, L1 is this one minus G4 H1. So L1 value is minus G4 H1, so it becomes plus. So this value is 1 plus G4 H1. So what we can do, P1 into delta 1, that is 1, P2 into delta 1, delta 2, that is 1, P3 into delta 3, that multiplication factor comes due to this value delta 3. Okay, and delta value already we got. So this is how we have to find out the signal flow, transfer function from this signal flow graph. Okay, now we can take another example problem. Okay, this is very interesting one. So we have one forward path here, okay, whose gain is G1, G2, G3, G4, and we can have another forward path like this way. Okay, G1, G2, G5. Okay, two forward paths are there. Now what are the loops are there? This is your one loop, this is your second loop, and this is your third loop, right? So we have total 3 loops. So what are the gain? G1 minus H3, G2 minus G2 H1 with positive sign, G2 G3 minus H3. Okay, so these are the loop gain, right? So delta. Now we have to look for non-touching loop gain. Now what we can see, this L1 loop and L2 loop, these two loops, okay, are non-touching to each other. This is here and this is here, they are not touching with each other, but this loop and this bigger loop are touching because these two nodes are common factor. So L1 and L2 are the non-touching loop, and we can say this L1 and this bigger loop are also non-touching because this loop has these 4 nodes. Okay, this loop has only these 2 nodes, those are not common, so non-touching. So L1 L2 non-touching loop, okay, L1 L2, and L1 L3 also non-touching loop. That gain you have to multiply. So G1 H3, G2 H1, okay, plus minus, so it is minus. Now L1 L3, that is, this is your L1 L2 L3. So L3 means minus minus plus, G1 G2 G3 H2 H3. Okay, so we have taken care of 2 non-touching loop pair. Okay, so 1 minus individual loop gain plus sum of product of 2 non-touching loops. Okay, and we can take the delta value without any problem. Fine. Now how we can find out delta 1? Now if this is your forward path, okay, then all the loops are touching with each other. So delta 1 equal to 1. There is no loop that is non-touching, so it is 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay. Now if you take the second forward path, okay, then also you can see these 3 loops are touching with the forward path because these two nodes are common. Okay. So delta 2 is also 1. So what we can take? So we can find out T1, that is the gain of forward path 1 into delta 1 is 1, T2 into 1, okay, then 1 plus individual loop gain, and this is non-paired loop, non-touching loop gain, 2 non-touching loop gain. Okay, so this is the overall transfer function. Okay, this is another example where we have taken 2 non-touching loop pair. Okay, now let us solve another problem where this problem I have taken only for the case that we will get here 3 non-touching loop. Okay, 3 non-touching loop we will get in this particular example. Okay, now here what we can see, here we have only one forward path, right? This is one forward path, input to output. This is your feedback, and here this is a feedback. Okay, feedback, right? Again it is a feedback. So here we have only one forward path. Gain is G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Okay. Now what are the loops are there? We can see here we have, this is one loop, this is another loop, this is another loop. Okay. These are the 3 loops. We can get another loop. We can see this is your another big loop, right? Starting from here, going to this and coming back. Okay. So we have total 4 loops are there. Okay. We have total 4 loops. Now we can look for non-touching loop. What we can see, this L1, L2 non-touching with each other. Okay. So we can find out their gain, L1, L2 gain. Okay. L1 and L3 also non-touching with each other. Okay. L2, L3 we can find out their gain. Then L1, L2 non-touching, L1, L2 non-touching. Okay. L1, L3 also non-touching. This is the case, and L2 and L3 also non-touching. L1, L2, L1, L3, L2, L3. So 3 non-touching loop pairs are there. Okay, and we can see that this L1, L2, L3, these 3 loops are non-touching with each other. Okay, so we can find out 3 non-touching loop. Okay, 3 non-touching loop pair we can find out, L1, L2, L3. These 3 loops are non-touching with each other. Okay, 3 loops are non-touching. Their gain can be multiplied. That is the gain of that. Okay, so the formula we can write that delta equal to what? 1 minus individual loop gain, L1, L2, L3, L4. Okay, plus non-touching 2 non-touching loop. How many non-touching loops are there? L1, L2, L1, L3, L2, L3, 3, right? So this is 1, 2, 3. Then what you have to do? Minus, so that is delta equal to what? 1 minus sum of individual loop gain, then plus non-touching loop gain, L1, L2, like that way, sum of that, then minus 3 non-touching loop gain, L1, L2, L3, plus like that way. Okay, so here this minus term comes. Okay, that's why minus, this is your 3 non-touching loop gain, right? So this is the delta value. Now we can find out delta 1. Delta 1 equal to what? If we look at this forward path, what we can see, L1 is touching with that, L2 is touching with that, and your L4 loop, the bigger loop, that is also touching with that. This L3 loop is not touching with this forward path, right? This is separately there. Okay, not touching with this forward path. So what delta 1 value will be equal to what? 1 minus L3, whatever the L3 value, that you have to subtract. This value is G7 into H4. Okay, so 1 minus G4 G7 into H4. So now this is the part we have to take care. Okay, I have not calculate all the parameters because this is a very lengthy one. So we know what is the value of this f. Okay, that we can put it here, that is f1. Okay, then delta 1 value we can multiply, then whatever the delta that you are getting here, that you have to write, that will be the total transfer function. So in this example, I have taken this example because of the fact that we have 3 non-touching loop. Okay, 3 non-touching loop pair we have, that's why I have taken this example. Okay, so this is all about this signal flow graph technique. That is, if we know any complicated block diagram of a control system, we can convert that into signal flow graph and we can solve it by Mason's gain formula very easily. Okay, directly we can compute. You don't have to draw the block diagram again and again to find out the transfer function, overall transfer function. Here from the signal flow graph we can directly write Mason gain formula. Only thing is we have to find out number of forward path, all the loops. Okay, then non-touching, 2 non-touching loop, 3 non-touching loop, like that way we have to put into the formula and you can directly find out transfer function of any complicated control system. Okay, so this is all about the signal flow graph. In next lecture I will try to cover some more problem related to this signal flow graph. Okay, so see you in the next video. Okay, thank you so much.